What's good, YouTube? Today I'm going to talk about something that I thought about recently with a lot of things that have been going on with me. So today I want to talk about how to discuss Yu-Gi-Oh! With old people. When I say old, I mean like 50 plus years. A lot of the newer generations, 30-year-olds, played Dungeons or Dragons or was out when Magic came out, so it's easy to explain to them. But when you're talking to really older people, you don't want to explain spell cards because then they think wizards and casting things and they get all they just tune out to it. The only thing unique to Yu-Gi-Oh that actually interests people outside of Yu-Gi-Oh typically is trap cards. You've activated my trap card. So like the thing is like explaining the other things to older people on how Yu-Gi-Oh works in a few easy steps with how I basically explained it to my grandparents before. And because my aunt brought it up today, she was like, yeah, when I tell people what you do, they actually never ask what card game, so I'm actually pretty lucky because I never have to explain it. So here's 3 easy steps. You explain the monsters, the spells, and the traps. You don't really explain any further unless you're actually going to play a game with them. But you explain it like this. You call it a war game. Basically, you have a battlefield, which is, your field. And you say you have your soldiers, which are your monsters. You have your spells. I call this artillery and ammunition. So the reason I call it that is because you can basically give your guys extra weapons, or it also does certain things like the artillery, like it lets them fire things and stuff. And whenever they ask why you don't play a bunch of the really good ones, like when you explain that they can wipe everything off their field, you tell them it's limited rations. You only get like one of those. So then, traps are actually the easiest thing to say. It's a trap card. It is what it is. And not really nerdy at all. It's, you have a trap. They know you have it, so they have to play around it and try to guess what it is. That's a really cool part of the game. So this is how I would explain Yu-Gi-Oh! To an older person. That Uncle Dave who keeps bugging you about the game and won't let it go and, really wants to learn. Tell him. And also tell me how you explain Yu-Gi-Oh! To older people overall. Like, I bet almost every single one of you have had to try to explain Yu-Gi-Oh! To somebody who knows nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh! That's kind of, like, older, and it's, they almost just glaze over when you tell them about spells and monsters. So, I think this is probably the best way to explain Yu-Gi-Oh! To older people. Let me know yours and your experiences with that. Thanks, guys.